try to record this. So what would we do to fix Nana's chocolate milk? Okay, everybody put your phones away. Open up your workbooks to page 98. How would we fix Nana's chocolate milk? Yes.
Reduce the amount of the powder getting into the milk.
Okay, that's true, except that it's already mixed. We already have it. So she doesn't want it to be that chocolatey.
Or pour some out.
Pour some out, but it's already all mixed. So I've got too much chocolate in the amount. Yes?
Add more milk.
Add more milk. How much do I add? 1 cup? Or a quarter of a cup? Well, that's a big difference. So let's see. We had 1 cup of milk, and we were supposed to do 4 scoops of chocolate, right? This is what we are supposed to do. This is what we want. We had 1 cup of milk to 5 scoops of chocolate. And Damari says we should do what? Add a quarter cup of milk. So if I add a quarter of a cup of milk, is that going to work? That gives me 1 1/4 cups of milk to 5 scoops. Is that going to be the right chocolatiness for Grandma or Nana? No?
Where do you want us to write this?
You can write it over on the far right, or you can page 90. Let's see, turn the page. You can write it right on 97, probably. Yeah, 97. So you had 1 cup of milk, 4 scoops. We did 1 cup of milk with 5 scoops of chocolate. That's too chocolatey for Grandma. I don't know. Could it ever be too chocolatey, though? So Damari says, let's add a quarter of a cup. So then I have how many fourths of milk in there? How many fourths? Because 1 cup is 4 fourths, right? So for every 4 fourths, you had 5 scoops. So if I have 1 1/4 cups, that is 5 fourths of a cup of milk. So for every 5 fourths, I have 5 scoops. So that would work. Most of the time, that is not how people answer, though. Okay? But that is correct. We could just add a quarter cup of milk. And then let's go with what Rachel said. What if we add another cup of milk? Okay? So if I have 1 cup is supposed to be, and we did the 5, it's supposed to be 1 cup to 4. If I add 1 cup, that gives me a total of 2 cups of milk. So how many more scoops of chocolate do I need?
For 2 cups.
For 2 cups. If 1 cup should be 4 scoops of chocolate, then 2 cups would be 8. 8 scoops. So that means I need how many more scoops? 3 scoops. Right? 5 plus the 3 gives me the 8. Now, is this how we add fractions usually? No. But we're talking about ratios, okay? Talking about ratios. So 1 cup times the 4, talked about the fourths. And then, that's not really what I want to say there. 1 times the 2 gave me the 2 cups. And so 4 times the 2, because 2 over 2 is really just 1, gives me the 8 scoops. Okay? All right. Now that's just chocolate milk. Let's go on and, okay. Are we ready? Let's talk about your pulse. So turn the page page 99. I want you to try to find your pulse. You can either find it in your neck, don't push too hard, or you can find it in your wrist. I always think it's harder to find on your wrist, but some people can. Abel? Not Abel. Herlin. There is an Abel in this class. But yes, let's stay turned around, okay? So I am going to set the timer for 15 seconds. I'll tell you when to start. You need to count how many love dubs you can feel. All right? Has everybody got it? Ready?
Wait, like, we have to count in 15 minutes.
15 seconds. 15 seconds. Ready? Go. There's 10. Keep going. Stop. All right. So write that down at the top of your box. It says, we will count how many beats you feel in 15 seconds. Record that in box 1. So I'm going to say for me, it was 20. Okay. I'm guessing you guys might have been a little slower. Maybe. Unless you're a little anxious. Okay. So that is 20 beats. And how long of a time? 15 seconds. All right. How could we figure out beats per minute? Beats per minute. So that's 15 seconds. Multiplied by what? 4. And I could multiply by 4 over 4 because we know 15 times 4 gives me the 60 seconds. And 20 times 4 for me would be 80. But you should do it for your own. Okay, so if it's the same, that's great. If it's not, that's fine. If you want to go with mine, that's fine too. That's up to you. Now, another way to do this, and this is probably how we can do this in the future. If you have 20 beats in 15 seconds, we want to multiply that by an equivalent ratio. An equivalent ratio, where the top and the bottom of this ratio are going to be the same amount, but in different units, okay? So I want seconds to be up here on the top. I know there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So this is my equivalent ratio because I know those are the same. And I put the seconds up on the numerator because I know the seconds here in the denominator and the seconds here are going to cancel out. And so when I multiply, I get 20 times 60, which is 1,200, divided by my denominator of 15. And that is going to give me... What does that give me? Somebody, here's my calculator. 80, which is the same for a minute. So 80 beats in 60 seconds or 80 beats per minute. Okay? But using this equivalent ratio is often an easy way to do it because you want to have two things that are equivalent and you want to cancel out the words. All right? Any questions about that? So, what were your beats per minute? Who figured out their beats per minute? Anyone? No, that's per 15 seconds. But for a minute,
I think that's yours.
so it was exact. Well, yeah, because you had 20. Anybody else have over 80? I'm guessing several of you, or maybe less. Okay. So that's our beats per minute. Let's go to the next slide. How long will it take for your heart to beat 700,000 times? Well, if we're talking about 700,000 times, that's the same as 700,000 beats, right? So let's start with what we had. I had 80 beats per minute. So this is 80 beats per minute. And I want to show this as 700,000 times. For you, and actually, as I look at this, I want to switch this up. This is equivalent, but I want to see what the end is going to be for 700,000 beats. That's my final, right? That's the big number. So I'm going to take 700,000 beats, and I am going to put that over 1. I am going to multiply that by my rate, which you can take it by your rate. But I'm going to have to switch it because I want the beats to be on the bottom, but that it is equivalent. Let me go to the right. I need more space at the right. Here we go. So I am going to put my minute up on the top and beats on the bottom. And yes, you basically end up dividing. So multiplying numerator times numerator, you get 700,000 divided by your beats, which is 80. The beats here cancel out. 700,000 divided by 80. You would take 700,000 divided by your number of beats per minute. And so we are left with
8,750.
For me, 8,750 minutes. Okay. So that's 700,000 beats divided by 80 beats is 8,750 minutes. Exactly. How could I change that to hours? Because it says we want to know how many days is that, how many minutes. So I would take 8,750 minutes. Okay, you can put that over 1. What is an equivalent ratio if you're talking about minutes to hours? How many minutes are in how many hours? 60 minutes. So the minutes I want to be on the bottom, 60 minutes in 1 hour, because then my minutes are going to cancel out. That is 8750 divided by 60. Okay, or whatever your minutes happen to be. And again, if you want to go with these minutes now, that's fine. So 8,750 divided by 60. You guys have the calculators. What's that going to give me? 145.8. Is it stop right there? Or does it keep going? Okay, 83 repeating. All right. So this is 145 hours. Okay, and 0.83 repeating of an hour. All right, so that is, here's my minutes. I want to get this back. There's my minutes. Here is my hours. Now, how could I take this 0.83 and change that into minutes? Because that is not a full hour. I want to take that and change that into minutes. So you would take that 0.83, that is in hours, and multiply that by 60 minutes in an hour. So the hours cancel out. Take 0.83 times 60. Let's see, times 10 would be 8.3. Can we take 0.83 times 60? Phone should be put away, please. 0.83 times 60. Is that going to be less than 60 or more than 60? Less. What is 0.83? Okay, so we're going to say 49.8 minutes. So right now we're at 145 hours and 8 minutes. We're not going to worry about the 0.8 for now. So then now let's change my hours into days. 145 hours over 1 times, what's an equivalent ratio for hours to days? Reese, can we put that away, please? 24 hours. I want the hours to cancel out. Makes 1 day. This is your equivalent ratio right here. So you end up taking 145 hours divided by 24. And that's going to give you, what's 145 divided by 24? 6.041. Does it keep going or does that stop? So that means this is my days. Okay. So we're at 6 days. Let's take, this is 0.041 days. We know there is 1 day in 24 hours. What is 0.041 times 24? 0.9. Okay, not even another one. So we're not going to worry about that. So putting this together then, because this is still less than 1 whole hour, we have 6 days. We have 140. That's not right. Ooh. 6 days. I was trying to figure out days, hours, and minutes. So this is just the minutes. This is just the hours. And this would be the whole number of days. But this didn't quite work out like I wanted. But we would need to take 0.984, and that's the number of days. So it's a little bit more complicated if you try to go straight to the number of full hours or the full days, the number of remaining hours, and the number of remaining minutes. Okay? All right. Let's try the next one. So page 99, is that the same one you're on? Okay. So you are training for a 5K race. Let's put this away. Can you stay after tonight? Oh. You are training for a 5K race. This morning you ran 8 miles in an hour. 8 miles in an hour. Okay. 8 miles in 1 hour. If you run the race at this speed, how many minutes will it take you to run the 5K race? Okay. So there's a couple of considerations. How many mile long is the race? And what is your speed? So here's my speed. We need to change this to minutes. So my equivalent ratio is hours to minutes. How many hours and how many minutes? 60 minutes. Where's the 60 going to go? No. We want hours. So we want 1 hour to be on the top because we want that to cancel out. And this is going to be for 60 minutes. Okay? But there's another problem. That would tell me miles per minute. But we're not doing an 8-mile run. It's a 5K run. So I need an equivalent amount for miles and kilometers. So you might have to Google that, unless you know that offhand. Can anybody look up what the equivalent is for kilometers and miles? Devin is
So
upset.
it's like 1 kilometer to mile, like equal to miles.
Or you could do 1 mile is how many kilometers? Either way, because they are equivalent.
That's a 1 kilometer to 0.6.
All right. So you said one more time.
1 kilometer equals 621.
0.621, and that's miles. And that is 1 kilometer. Okay. So my miles would cancel out. My hours are going to cancel out. And that is kilometers per minute. But what kind of race are we running? It's a 5K. So what would I need to do for that? Well, let's see. Let's multiply first. Top times top times top. That gives me 8 kilometers. And that is, what is 60 times 0.621? 37.26 minutes. Okay. How long will it take us to... How long will it take us for 5 kilometers? So what I'm going to do is switch that up and turn this topsy-turvy. So 37.26 minutes is for 8 kilometers, but we are only going 5. So times 5 kilometers. So the kilometers are going to cancel out. Take 37.26. Multiply that by 5, and then divide that by 8.
23.2875.
And that is minutes. Okay? So, let's see. Does that kind of make sense? 1 kilometer, 0.621 miles, 1 hour, 60 minutes. So in 5K, we're going 23.287 minutes. We were going 8 miles an hour. So using your heart rate. So we had that from before. Mine was 80 beats per minute. You calculated yours. This is 23.287 minutes. So you would take your heart rate, whatever it is. Again, mine was 80 beats per 1 minute. And if we are running this in 23 minutes, I'm doing this times 23.287. Again, you want the minutes to cancel out. And that's going to tell you how many beats total for running that race. So 80 times 23.287. $1,862.96. And we'll round up and say that is 1,863 beats. Technically, it would not round up because you can only have the number of beats that you have, but we're going to round it for a whole number. Okay? So do you understand that what you need to do is find an equivalent ratio, and you need to multiply by that equivalent ratio such that you have the same words on the top and the bottom that are going to cancel out? That is either going to have you divide by some amount, or it could have you multiplying by a whole number. Okay, does that make some sense? A little bit? Because you need to figure out, am I really multiplying? Should I be getting a larger number, or should I be getting a smaller number? Okay. All right. So, hey, that is it for today. All right.
Wow. Really true.
Yeah, we got too much extra time. I'm going to see if I can go back and fix that. Yes, we are going to have another project. It is going to be, I believe it's making your room. Yeah. I mean, we have 2 weeks until, no. We have 2 weeks until Thanksgiving break, and then we have a week after that. That whole next week, we're going to be working on that project again. And then after that, we prep for finals, and then the finals are the next week. So we are really close to the end. After Thanksgiving, it's going to go fast. Yes? Okay. So yes, we do have another project. The last class was like, yay! I guess they like projects better than tests. Yes? It wasn't too bad. And I think hopefully you actually learn how you can use at least those things in CODAP too. And then the finals are the 16th through the 18th. What? No CODAP in this. All right, so this is the homework. Homework 3-1. This should be due and done by around Thursday. Okay, so you can already get started on this homework. There are only 4 homework assignments. Only 4 homework assignments for this chapter. Okay, and again, if possible, if you need help with your last project, please consider